The subject of this video is Trump's success in bullying a major U.S. law firm to take a knee and kiss his ring, just one of the more troubling developments in the last week. Through an executive order 14237 dated March 15, 2025, Trump declared that the law firm Paul, Weiss, Rifkind, Wharton, and Garrison a national security threat. Paul Weiss is one of the nation's most prominent law firms with over 1,000 attorneys and 10 global offices. Trump withdrew all security clearances previously granted to anyone in that firm and instructed agencies, federal government agencies, to bar access to Paul Weiss attorneys from any federal building and to refrain from hiring anyone from that firm. The law firm, I read, lost one client whose representation required national security clearance. Trump made no claim that the Paul Weiss attorney handling that case was a national security threat. The main harm to this law firm by Trump's executive order was the preventing routine advocacy by the Paul Weiss attorneys chosen by primarily U.S. corporate clients before U.S. government agencies. These would be routine civil matters. In fact, America's first dictator made no factual claim at all that any employee of Paul Weiss was a security threat. What was the predicate of the executive order? Trump was just seeking revenge and retaliation against Paul Weiss law firm because a former partner, Mark Pomerantz, who Trump described as unethical in the executive order, left the firm to try the New York criminal case against Trump. And that made the entire law firm a national security threat in Trump world. The second justification, which was obliquely given in the executive order, was that another attorney had filed a pro bono suit on behalf of the District of Columbia against some of the individuals involved in the January 6th assault on the nation's capital. Those were the two justifications given by Trump in his executive order. Paul Weiss quickly bent a knee and kissed our dear leader's ring. If Trump would lift the executive order that had no factual basis whatsoever and was unconstitutional on its face, the firm would provide $40 million in free legal services to whomever Trump designates and would terminate its DEI program and install a monitor to make sure that the program was gone. Trump agreed to those terms and withdrew his executive order. I would just emphasize here that Paul Weiss is a private law firm and Trump dictated to them as president their employment practices. What is overlooked by many who are familiar with this clearly dictatorial action by our dear leader is that he tried to do the same to the Perkins law firm, who did not buckle under the bullying tactics. The Perkins firm secured a temporary restraining order from a judge who found that Trump's action was likely unconstitutional, and that ruling was made 2 days before Paul Weiss bent its knee to Trump and kissed the ground that he walked upon. I certainly would not want such a wuss law firm representing me. Trump is also, and this is important from my perspective, is sending a message to every lawyer in America. The message is that he will destroy a lawyer's livelihood if Trump does not like who the lawyer represented or the cause advanced in a legal proceeding, and certainly any legal proceeding against Trump, his allies, and those in his orbit. Before the election, I watched a few people being interviewed who were Trump voters, They were asked whether they had any concern about Trump seeking retribution when and if elected. All of them said he would not do that. If those were honest responses, and maybe they were, those people were just extremely naive and gullible. Of course, Trump is a mean-spirited and extremely vindictive person who will not tolerate any criticism. He has been in a retribution mode since becoming president and will be using the government to punish any person or company who dares to stand in his way, criticizes him no matter how factually justified, or makes any attempt to hold him accountable for violating laws or even law violations made by those who support him.